Hello everyone, we have a very special guest here today. We hear him all the time giving depositions concerning his agency, the FBI, about we must maintain vigilance over China. Today I'm going to prove to you that he is a cross-dresser for China, and I will show you how and why. My name is Daryl Guberman. I'm the CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. We've been in business going on 13 years. I want to let you know that this video today is about Chris Wray, FBI director and ANSI-ANAB board member, is a China cross-dresser. What the fuck? Yes, WTF. The acronym. I didn't say what the fuck on the title, but I will tell you that. And by the way, what the fuck is a quality term used by ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, from their chairman, Russ Cheney. Who called me up in 2019 and because I exposed an impropriety in laboratory accreditation. And he said, half a nut, fuck you to me. I have it on audio. You'll find all the information, copious amounts, in the description. So here it goes. ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, is a private, not-for-profit, non-governmental entity, and it's got both corporations and federal agencies on board. In 2015, Randy Doherty, who had been in this position from 2009 to 15, both positions, he was the vice president of ANAB, and he was also the chairman and principal on the IAF tax report. And the IAF is the International Accreditation Form, incorporated in Delaware. It's a repository for national and international accreditation bodies like ANSI-ANAB are members. At this time, they sat there. He handed over leadership to this communist Chinese national, Zhao Jinwu, who was mandated by his country of origin, China, to take your data, or any data, through the China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7. At this time, he had been fiddling around with our quality since 1994. He is also, at this time, the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China. 2017, we have a candid picture of him standing in the WUHAN lab. 2017, handing a laboratory accreditation to a laboratory which he should not have handed it to. But as we see with Boeing's slackered quality and Lockheed and all that, they give out certificates like you turn it on the printing press, okay? So he was standing there. In 2017, you have Randy Doherty, who was also being advertised in the Department of Homeland Security. The reason why is Phil Matheson, Director of Management and for Quality Standards, that sat and is a employee of the DHS, was getting $262,000 tax-free through a royalty payment. So Randy was being advertised on the DHS website. It's like Walmart being advertised on the FBI website or DHS, whatever. I thought that it was a little bit fishy, and I exposed it, and they took him down, and they replaced him with some other thing. We have all that data. You'll find it on my YouTube channel if you can sift through the comedy, because this is a comedy plus tragedy altogether. So you also have, at that time, in 2017, 2018, a Ms. Pamela Sale, who stated, and she was the vice president of quality for laboratory accreditations, he stated under deposition in Texas that from one laboratory to another, they lack protocol. While, conversely, an entourage from the United States was in the laboratory at Wuhan, China, and the scientists in Wuhan begged and pleaded with those specialists from the United States, please, we need some technicians who are well trained. Well, the virus escaped. 2019, the CDC came out with a training document, May of 2019 to be specific. They came out with a training document specifically, only, totally, for Wuhan, China. It said Chinese virology labs, and the only one they mention is Wuhan. And on page 3, it states, and I state this verbatim, that it states the most important part of any lab is trained and qualified technicians, and these scientists said they were not trained properly, the technicians that they have. Continuing on, ANSI took over complete control over ANAB in 2018. They also sat as members of the IAF between 2015 and 21, while Communist China was watching over them. And remember, again, I tell you this emphatically, China is mandated. Zhao Jinwu was mandated to take data from the China National Intelligence Law, Article number 7. Who sit on ANSI's board? The FBI, the CDC, the NIH, Boeing, Lockheed, etc., etc. It goes on and on. ANSI sat as a member on, ANAB sat as a member on ANSI's board. You have the FBI. The FBI is a stickler because November 22nd, 2023, Daryl Christopher Wray came out and said we must maintain vigilance over China because it's a detriment to the United States. Well, let me give you some of his. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 of what his sentences are, what he said, quotes, and I'm going to also tell you what China said about Christopher Wray. Chris Wray, FBI, says the whole of the Chinese society is a threat to the U.S. and that Americans must step up to defend themselves. Also, FBI Director Christopher Wray says Chinese espionage poses the most severe threat to American security. Now, conversely, the Chinese said vulgar, arrogant, mentally challenged, a lowlife. Asked Chinese state media for an assessment of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation's Director Christopher Wray, and the response will be even less flattering. So let me just tell you this. The FBI sits on ANSI's board. Are you getting this? Okay. ANSI sits on the board. And you take a look at this, and I just showed you that you have both ANSI and ANAB sitting on the IAF. And you look at this and you say, what is going on here? It's very easy. Here it is. So you have the FBI sitting on ANSI's, ANAB's board, and China's watching over them. Okay? Christopher Wray comes out and says we must maintain vigilance over China. And here he is going into the office. But as you continually see him, there he is, very professional. Hold on a second. You also have the Department of Justice sitting on there as well. And then the worst thing is that you have Iran and Pakistan. And I'm not talking this about the personnel, the people. I'm talking about this about the politicians. Pakistan, who harbored Osama bin Laden. You have Iran, who said, both of them said that they assisted in the hazards of 9/11, the tragedy, okay? And they sit on the IAF, incorporated in Delaware. Iran and Pakistan, both countries sit on an American business sitting there in Delaware. And ANSI and ANAB sat right by them, and they are equivalent in accreditation to ANSI, ANAB, and to make matters even better, ANSI and ANAB are underwriters for both the IAF, International Accreditation Forum Incorporated in Delaware, and also ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. So you have Christopher Wray. And when Christopher Wray, you see his organization sitting on ANSI's board, and then you find out that ANSI and ANAB sit on the communist-led IAF from 2015 to 2021 being watched over by China. This is actually the real Christopher Wray. Please stand up. Yes, this is Christopher Wray. Yes, it is. Isn't that nice? My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS@yahoo.com. And this video was Chris Wray, FBI Director. Here he is. ANSI ANAB board member is a cross-dresser for China. And there he is. I thank you.